77th out of 81 countries. That's the rank of Philippine education.
This is Modern Tribe. Modern families, timeless principles.
That's from PISA, or the Program for International Student Assessment. This reflects the reality of our Philippine education, especially with core subjects such as science, math, at saka reading.
Parang sobrang baba. Imagine, fifth, no? From the bottom, tayo. So may apat na below us. But we are still part of the lowest, no? Na percentile. Grabe.
Right. Although the Philippine education is doing their best to cope with international standards. Kasi this study just released last year, 2023 lang to. Although may mga adjustments tayo, di ba? Merong K-12 program, may mga adjustments dito.
And yung grabe yung hit ng pandemic.
Correct.
But it opened our eyes to the realities of our curriculum, which, ano kaya yun?
That's my question as well. Bakit kaya parati na tayong huli when it comes to education system?
Yeah.
I don't know the real answer, but we can only speculate based on our observation.
We never got to the top 10, no? Unlike Miss Universe.
Yes.
Lagi tayo.
Usually sa beauty, nandun tayo. No? Sa beauty.
Yeah, but sa Miss Universe, hindi lang naman beauty yun.
And brain.
Yeah.
Right? The select few. But, I've seen it before my eyes. Yung downfall ng education system because we were once teachers.
Yes.
No? So based sa observation mo, no, as a student first, no, what do you think is the subject do you find least valuable?
Subject talaga. Subject. Siguro, yung no offense to my teachers, no, yung Rizal na subject. Although, yes, it's important to know our history because Rizal is not just about Jose Rizal. It's also about our history during the Spanish occupation. So that's important. Pero feeling ko nahihit naman siya sa social studies. And in fairness naman sa sa media natin, meron na ngayong series about the books of Rizal, which natatakol din dun. Nung college kasi we had Rizal as one subject talaga. Isang SEM talaga siya. So, for me, it's not necessary na there should be a Rizal class for one SEM. Parang waste of money for me, knowing what we know now. So, I'm not sure if it's still in the college curriculum ngayon. But, with the advancement in technology, pwede mo nang basahin ang No Limitang Hirit, El Filibusterismo without spending half of your school year, no?
That was in college, no? Kasi that's one entire subject.
Yes, but I also remember, parang nung high school ako, isang year, isang book ni Rizal. Parang na-spread out siya sa year. I think there are more things, no? And skills na pwedeng ituro. With emphasis on the skills sana and not just on the facts about Rizal and the dates in our history kasi nag-google mo naman lahat ngayon.
Right.
How about you?
Well, akala ko ako lang yung ayaw sa Rizal na subject.
Oy, pero
it's not that I don't like Rizal. It's just that
maganda yung grades natin sa Rizal.
Correct, yeah. Yeah. Okay lang. Sa akin yung grades ko that time. Pero yung hindi ko na-appreciate is yung waste of time. Because I remember yung teacher namin would give us 2-pager ng mga dates at saka names.
Oh, I hate dates.
You know what? We had to memorize it because it will go sa exam.
Wow. Sa exam?
Yeah.
Yeah, and our exams before, parang 30-40% ng grades.
Yeah, we were compelled to memorize all those facts.
Grabe.
Although those are facts. Pero reality-wise, tingnan mo ngayon. Up until now, I can't apply one fact from the history of Rizal. Now, of course, I'm not saying it's totally garbage. There are some applications to it. But I think there are better subjects in which can make our life simpler at saka better.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So, marami pa, for sure. But not just Rizal, but I think the thing that I want to say na waste of time, it is actually quite controversial what I'm about to say. Way back in high school, yung teacher namin would share about theory of evolution. Yes. Now, that one is sa book mo siya makita. And I cannot blame the teacher for teaching because that's what our curriculum mandated of teachers and of course na kailangan matutunan ng mga students. What I'm saying is, hindi na-explain sa akin, I'm not sure sa mga students yung mga classmates ko, how did they take it. Pero sa akin, it was not explained to me that it's true theory. That it's not a fact.
So parang you thought na yun talaga yun?
Yes. Nanggaling tayo sa monkey and from nothing,
sa apes, no?
From nothing came everything. So that me conclude na walang Diyos. And because of that, I wasted my life. Kasi it's practical to have a God. No. To believe in God means, someone wants the best of you and you have a purpose. You have meaning in life. Kasi kapag wala, of course, you're just dancing with your DNA. Walang consequence yung actions mo. So, parang it ruined many years of my life, that kind of thinking. Parang parang it spread yung start ng pag-decline ng morality ko. Because of that.
I see. I think ngayon, elementary, tinuturo na yan.
Correct. Right.
But I'm sure they tell or they say na it's just a theory.
Right.
It's not yet proven. So in my case, na-explain naman siya na theory. Although, hindi na open yung ibang possibilities of the origin of man.
Right.
So parang, leaning towards dun nga talaga yung paniniwalaan mo.
Yeah. So that kind of philosophy, I would say, would ruin your morality. Again, iba-iba yung pag-take ng student. As for me, yun lang yung effect sa akin. Well, that's for the subject that I find least valuable. By the way, yung science was my favorite subject.
Oh, really? Bakit hindi ka nag-science major?
Siguro nag-change along the way. But when I was in high
okay.
school, I love
Chemistry?
part of it, but
Wow.
earth science yung main ko
Oh,
na,
yeah.
na fascination.
Maganda yan.
And I would watch documentaries and I'm at awe on the vastness of the universe.
I see.
Right.
So that's why. Ano ka pala? Astrology.
Parang ganun. Actually, wala nung elementary ako. Yung gusto kong job is astronaut.
Talaga. Bakit di mo tinuloy?
Well, of course, reality will slap you. And that's why you have to recalibrate your
dreams.
Your dreams.
Okay.
That's for the subject. But let's go dun naman sa lesson from the school that had the most impact in your life.
Impact sa life ko. Lesson, hindi siya lesson from a subject. Okay. Pero memorable sa akin yung grabe yung impact sa akin nung nangyari sa abstract algebra class
Really?
ko.
Bakit?
Wow. Alam mo ba yung abstract algebra?
It's very abstract.
Yes! Puro siya letters and numbers. Since abstract siya, more on theories siya. So we usually substitute unknown numbers with letters. Tapos may isa-solve ka dun. Using letters. So, grabe yung impact niya sa life ko because itong subject na to, yung palaglag sa akin sa lower level ng Latin Awards. Yeah. So, syempre, nung college, I wanted to prove myself sa mga tao.
Right.
Kasi akala nila nung high school, papunta ako sa pariwara na life.
Oh.
So, parang yun yung hugot ko ng college. I'm going to prove to you na gagraduate ako with Latin honors.
Yeah.
Good thing, naka-ano ako na-qualify pa ako sa,
Last trip, oh.
naka-last trip ako. So, ito yung nangyari. Yung, sa abstract algebra, 2 lang kasi yung quiz namin noon sa isang sem. And, yung first namin na quiz, bagsak talaga ako. Like, super bagsak. Parang 77th out of 81 countries yung nakuha kong score. Dahil, kasi part ako ng student council nung college. So, meron kaming event that time. Pero yung teacher ko, no hate sa teacher kong to. She was one of my most favorite teachers. So, yung nangyari, strict kasi si teacher. So, yung time, gabi kasi yung classes namin before, especially sa major subjects. So, nung time na ibibigay niya yung quiz, yun din yung may event kami and I had to be there because nga, I was part of the student council. So, I asked my teacher, sabi ko sa kanya, if pwede bang kumuha ng test after na ng event. Ganon. So, hindi siya pumayag. Sabi niya, it's either hindi mo makukuha yung test or kukuha ka before your event. So, syempre, kinuha ko yung option na before the event.
Yeah.
Kaya lang, parang sigurong yung mind ko that time was into the event na.
Right.
Ganon. Ano kasi yun freshman night. So, medyo competitive kami. So, pero hindi ako yung representative ha. Parang kami lang yung in charge sa Hindi ako kagaya mo na rumampa sa stage. So, yun. So, ang nangyari, bumagsak ako. Grabe yung yung hindi ako makapaniwala.
Oh.
Tapos, tinry ko, sinolve ko ulit yung mga hindi ko nakuhang tama that time. At nakatama ako. But it was so sad kasi yung kondisyon ng utak ko siguro.
Yeah.
Before, parang, syempre, wala siguro akong focus.
Correct,
Kasi
yeah.
gusto ko nang pumunta sa event. So, it was so sad kasi 2 lang yung quizzes. So, talagang na-pull down ako ng score ko dun. So, I was running for Magna dapat. But because of that one quiz, feeling ko all my efforts the past 3 years were wasted.
So,
Yung ganun. So, yung kagandahan lang was because I love my teacher.
Yeah.
And, syempre, hindi niya naman kasalanan yun, diba? And she did what was right. Yun yung yung grounds niya. But, I think na with this napaka-subjective ng system natin. Diba? Imagine 2 quizzes lang. Sa ibang subjects, hindi naman ganun. So, you will have the chance na mabawi. And I just don't like how I'm one of the students. No? I represent, I think, a number of students na may hugot sa everything's all about your grades. Diba? Imagine, isang palpak mo lang. Kapag hindi ko na pull up yung score ko sa isang quiz, probably malalaglag talaga ako at wala akong Latin honor. So, imagine yung value ng Latin honors for us. Na it's not actually a direct reflection of how much you can survive the real world. Diba? So, it's just so sad na ganun yung system natin. So, for me, it had the most impact kasi parang it was between my academics and extracurricular activities. And there, I've learned na although na-compromise yung ACADS ko, I still gained more. Kasi, di ba, kapag hindi ako naging sumali sa mga extracurricular activities, hindi ako naging member ng student council, parang sayang yung mga opportunities, yung mga pag nasa student council ka kasi 'di ba napakaraming ganap. So matatrain talaga yung sense of responsibility mo, organization, secretary ako. So napakaraming life skills akong na-develop because I stepped into that leadership role. Although nalaglag ako sa sa pagkuha ng Latin honor na target ko.
That's
so grabe yung impact sa life ko because it was a summary of what I have learned now, na our school, our education system actually doesn't really prepare the learners to real life. Para silang nasa playroom. At tayo, kapag lumabas na tayo, we need to learn more skills for us to survive the real world. So, nakaka-delay siya. No, imagine, yung iba nagtathrive on their 30s because after they graduate, magsisimula pa lang sila mag-learn about real life. But in fact, it's supposed to be what the school, 'di ba? It's what the school should offer, training learners for real life. So, what's our education system doing?
Right. Right.
Diba?
Well,
Valuing
it's good.
grades.
It's good at how you process it. Kasi possible na you were frustrated all your school life.
Yeah.
But bad experiences give us lesson.
Yeah, I wouldn't exchange, sabi ko ha.
Right.
Meeting lifelong friends kasi sumali ako sa iba't ibang organizations. Ganun. Although
Same.
na-compromise
Yeah,
yung
yeah.
ano ko. Ikaw, what lesson from school has had the most impact sa life mo?
Well, I'm with you dun sa part na yung extracurricular.
Yes,
yung
maganda talaga yun.
memorable lessons at saka people. In school, you will usually learn the what and the how, maybe the why. But what I appreciate the most is yung mga activities that will give you the who you know. No? If you were to ask me yung mga curriculum, high school, college, more than 90% nakalimutan. But yung
Same.
experience, yung people. So,
Yeah.
not really on the subject part, but on the extracurricular part. When I was in high school, I was blessed to be part of a student government. Tapos pumunta kami sa mga places. You know, one of
Yeah, masaya yung
which
mga ganun.
gave me the boost then.
Pinapadala kayo sa sa iba-ibang lugar,
Correct.
diba? You meet
Iba.
different delegates.
Iba yung
Oo.
impact eh. It's
Correct.
not the feeling na gala kayo, pero yung mind mo parang nababroaden siya.
Yes.
Yeah. Meron pa palang ibang mundo. When I was in college, I appreciate our university because they have this program for parang OJT siya.
Yung internship.
Internship in which you will teach in a different country.
Wow.
Dun sa experience ko, I'm blessed because I was sent together with 9 other students sa Japan.
Wow.
The school, yung host school, was the one who will pay for it.
Wow.
So, we didn't pay for anything.
Libre.
Libre for 3 months. Marami akong natutunan. Yung culture ng Japan, yung language, but more so talaga yung feeling of broadening your horizon. That you will start to dream big.
Yeah.
That your world is not just limited dun sa nakikita mo everyday.
Correct. Marirealize mo na maliit talaga yung
Right.
exposure.
Yeah. So, I appreciate yung mga ganong initiatives ng school that they would network and expose their
Yeah.
students for events. So, pagpatuloy natin yan.
Correct.
Up until now, by the way, I appreciate yung mga friends ko nung nasa extracurricular, nasa mga leadership roles na in which we met friends.
Yes.
A few of them are my good friends.
Closest
In fact,
friends.
yung best man ko is my classmate in college.
Yes.
Who is my business partner at the same
Yes.
time. So, network. Very, very crucial.
Correct.
Right. So, when it comes to the experience part, also, I like to add na hindi limited yung learning mo doon sa ino-offer ng school. I believe with all my heart, teachers can make or break, but the one who will really make the student is the parent. Usually, parents would send their children to school because, of course, they're at work 8 to 5.
Yeah.
Wala silang time to really nurture and teach their children. Pero, no, yung valuable skills, like talking about money, no, about values, yung mga skills about how to learn, how to fail, no? And learn at the same time. These are the essential skills na matutunan ng mga students
With their parents.
with their parents.
Dapat. No?
Kasi sa school setup, 30 kayo dyan eh. Or 20 or 50,
More
40
more
or
than
more.
30 actually. Maabot ng 40 ngayon, 50.
So imagine, the teacher won't be able to accommodate your questions at saka confusions.
Needs, yeah.
Right. So yung role ng parent is very crucial.
Correct. And not all teachers encourage students to ask questions.
Right.
Yung iba na-intimidate,
Oh, yeah.
diba? So, hindi natuturo yan usually
That's right. You know what? When you are in a traditional setup, 30, 40, 50 kayo,
Mahihiya ka magtanong, diba?
Yeah.
Para akala mo, ako lang ba hindi nakakagets? Parang ang bobo ko naman.
correct.
Ganun.
Right. And of course, for people like me na ayaw ng attention, na kapag mag-raise ka ng hand, tapos may question ka, confusion ka, of
Ay,
course,
pabida
ayaw mo
si
naman.
Nino.
Yeah. Either pabida ka, and of course, ayaw mo naman
Or wala
maging
kang
mukhang
alam.
bobo.
Oo.
Tama. So, yung mga confusion mo, usually we keep it to ourselves.
Yes.
And we want to keep it up to the point na hindi na siya mapaprocess. So, yung mga confusions, doubts, mga curiosity ng mga anak,
Hindi siya na-address.
right? Whereas, kapag meron kang responsible na parent, no, who will spend time dun sa anak nila, napaka-valuable dun sa kanila.
Yes.
When it comes to parent involvement, I have here a study from De La Salle University. Sabi dito, students with active parental involvement had 25% higher test scores than those without such support.
Wow.
So meaning to say, kapag merong parent engagement at saka support, there is a higher probability that the student will achieve more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess this doesn't mean na every night kailangan mong i-review yung anak mo. Although there are parents talaga na ganun yung ginagawa nila. Diba? But teaching your child how to learn, kung paano siya mag-review, ano yung mga bagay na important at okay lang na hindi siya perfect dito, parang ganun. Yung involvement na yun can actually encourage your child eh. Hindi naman kailangan spoon feed mo yung anak mo.
Yeah.
Diba? But the things na, yung diskarte na matututunan ng anak mo from you, that's already a big thing and might actually improve their school performance.
That's true. No, hindi na to limited sa dapat yung parent mo president ng PTA.
Yeah, so
Na dapat siya yung atid sundo. It's journeying with them through ups and downs. I have here a parent that who is very responsible. Hinomeschool niya yung anak niya. And to think yung parent na to is working 8 to 5.
Wow.
Yung setup niya, nag-create siya ng system. Kasi hinomeschool niya yung anak niya. Dalawang anak niya. So, ginawa niya, she would give assignments and projects. Tapos, merong evaluation
Wow.
once a week. No, meron silang presentation. For example, may project sila na dapat meron kayong gagawin about science. May tatanim kayo about this and that.
Oh, very smart.
No? May mga criteria how you will be graded. Tapos, may evaluation at the end of the week.
Yes.
Doon may sistema. And lo and behold, yung comprehension ng dalawang anak na to na hinomeschool niya,
Grabe.
I would say are
Above
far
average. No?
average than those enrolled in traditional setup. The way they ask questions, the way they process things, far beyond. No? Comprehension, critical thinking skills,
Yes.
far beyond. Because of parent involvement. They say the best teacher is time. The more you spend time with a person, the more you inculcate the values you want to share and then
Yeah.
yung way of thinking. That's very important. It's not just the what, it's how you process things.
And I also appreciate parents who support let's say, the talents or yung interests ng kids nila, who let them join sports, mga ganun, or extracurricular activities, diba? Na gusto talaga ng mga anak nila. Marami akong nakita the past days because of Carlos Yulos victory.
Yeah.
Ang daming parents na nagtatag ng mga anak nila. Magsimula na kayo mag-gymnastics.
Tumbling-tumbling.
Gano'n. Tumbling-tumbling. Gano'n. Pero kidding aside, maganda yon. Parents who support the interest and the talents of their kids. Marami akong kilalang moms na ine-enroll nila yung kids nila sa swimming.
Wow. Yeah.
Diba? Because it's a life skill, diba? It's a survival skill. So, I truly appreciate parents who know what's important.
Right.
Na hindi kailangang, first, with highest honors ka, anak. But alam ko naman na yung mga alam mo ngayon, yung mga natutunan mo, magagamit mo talaga when you grow up.
Right.
Parang, gano'n. Kaysa sa,
Responsible parenting, right.
yeah, there are parents kasi who really want their kids to have the highest honors, diba? But nako-compromise naman, let's say, yung mga anak nila takot magkamali, ganon, and very by the book. At kapag mga practical stuff na, parang nahirapan na sila because, ay, wala to sa book. I speak from experience because nung elementary ako, parang ganon yung expectations from me. Kasi traditionally, di ba, you're smart if, grabe yung pride ng parents, if you're at the top of your class, ganun. But nahirapan ako if hindi na siya in the school setup, di ba? Yeah.
So, sa mga hugot ko din yan, actually, yung you're defined by your grades.
Grades, yeah.
Right? I know a school na yung basis nila of grading and yung emphasis ng curriculum nila is on multiple intelligences.
Yes.
Diba? Merong music smart, haptics, you're into sports and movement, word
Numbers.
smart, numbers. No? Merong about
Projects, manipulations. Yeah.
So these are the areas that are left behind because we focus too much on the what, no? The academics.
Yeah.
Again, academics has its own place and benefits then, but the practical world doesn't live both in academics.
Yes.
No? How about the emotional quotient of a child? These things really matter, and we know the results up until now. Yung mga employers, no, in today's generation, they will not base entirely from your grades.
Correct. Although it can be a way for you to enter into a prestigious company.
Right. That may also be true kasi if you have high grades, also it could mean na very hardworking ka siguro sa studies.
Diligent.
Right, yeah. So it has some truth to it when it comes to your performance.
Yeah, the progressive school that you were talking about, yung nag-focus on multiple intelligences, yung grades usually is or come from the effort that the child put into developing his strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Amazing
Ang ganda
sana.
kasi if yung strength is defined,
and the weaknesses.
And the weaknesses, yeah.
The child can improve on it.
correct, at least merong area in which the child can grow
Yes.
together with the help of the teacher and parent. No? Define, very important, define yung strength at saka weakness.
Yung individual.
Right. Same thing with Yulo, no? Before he became 2 gold
Medalist, yeah.
medalist champion, he invested many years in training.
Correct.
I'm not sure yung youngest exposure niya dun sa gymnastic, but I can say may mga videos ako nakita, parang 7 or 8 years old. I'm not sure, we have to check. Pero ano na siya ngayon, 25 years old? Imagine how many
24 yata.
So, wow. What if na-discover mo as a parent yung gifting ng anak mo sa
Yes.
gymnasts as early as 4, 5, 6 years old? May ilang milyones ka na. Ilang milyones na yun, no?
Yeah.
Yung kapalit. Well, of course, it speaks as well of, it all boils down to responsible parenting. Very crucial.
Yes.
Break or make. And when it comes to the parenting, of course, we also want to appreciate our teachers. I'd say yung mga teacher natin is multitasker. When I was in high school, yung teacher namin is a gardener.
Wow.
Yeah. Ano din siya, bookkeeper. Kasi may mga books kami dun sa classroom namin. Ano din siya, counselor. She never processed ng mga problems
Ang daming
namin.
professions.
Teacher siya at the same time. At saka most of the time, marami siyang paperworks.
Yun.
Yes. So, for you, ano yung memorable experience mo with your teacher?
Memorable experience ko with my teachers. Can I share, dalawa? One from my
Sure.
elementary
Go.
and one from high school. Yung elementary ako, memorable sa akin yung nagalit yung favorite teacher ko. MAPE teacher siya. Nagalit siya sa class namin. Kasi, sabi niya, lahat na lang daw ako. So, favorite teacher ko siya because he was so talented. Na-enjoy ko talaga yung, siya kasi yung conductor namin sa choir. So, na-enjoy ko yun. Na-excuse ko sa class dahil may choir practice kayo. Tapos nami-meet ko yung mga ibang grade level. So, dun lang ako na-expose sa multi-age na setup, which I really like. So, sinabi niya sa class namin na bakit ganito na lang, walang ka-challenge yung batch niyo, hinahayaan niyo lang si Borromeo na siya na yung lahat. Siya nasa ganito, siya sa ganyan, siya sa ganyan. Wala na bang iba? Parang ganon. So, oo nga, na-realize ko before, especially during our time, if ikaw yung first honors, parang halos lahat ng activities, yung kaya mong i-represent, ikaw yung mag-represent.
Oh.
Or kapag top 5 ka, parang kayo na lang lahat. So, doon ko na-realize na, oh no, hindi pala na bibigyan ng equal opportunities, no?
Okay.
Yung students in the classroom. Although, in fairness naman, dun sa, for example, sa Quiz B, ikaw yung representative kasi yun naman talaga yung gifting mo. But how about the others, no? It's just so sad na hindi sila nabibigyan ng opportunity to also identify their strength. Parang, oo nga, ako na lang lahat. So, that was one memorable na-appreciate ko yung teacher ko kasi challenge niya yung mga classmates ko na mag-step up din. Diba? Wag na lang hayaan na kung sino lang dyan, siya na lang lagi. Yeah. And then, nung ano naman, so grabe, achiever ako nung elementary. Kaya siguro parang nasakal ako, nagsawa ako nung high school. Kaya nung high school, I tried the other side of life. You know? Gusto ko naman yung more about people, I had fun, ganun. So meron akong trigonometry teacher, siya yung advisor namin before. Yung nilagay niya sa sa yearbook ko, na hindi naman ito yung exact words niya na sayang daw ako. Sabi niya, hindi ako motivated. So nakikita niya daw na marami daw yung potential ko pero hindi ko daw ginagamit. Ganun yung yung comment niya. So parang nung nag-mature na ako, I realized, and I also experienced this when I became a teacher. Your teachers pala see you. So sabi mo nga, counselor sila. Para silang mind readers. Ganun. Nakikita natin, di ba? Yung potential ng students natin. Kaya pinupush natin sila if we see na magaling sila dito, pero hindi nila alam. Sinasayang nila, yung ganun. So, na-appreciate ko siya kasi isa siya sa mga nag-push sa akin. Binigyan niya ako ng opportunities to represent our class. Because siguro may nakita siya sa akin. It's very personal for me. And I realized na that's what we also do. With our students and even parents, diba? That's why sabi mo nga, important yung parent involvement because sometimes our kids, they don't know their strengths and we can help them figure it out, diba? By giving them opportunities, venues to try different things, diba? Meron akong kilalang mom, idol ko talaga siya kasi yung hindi naman sila very mayaman, but I'm glad na nagpuput talaga sila ng effort ng husband niya na bigyan ng different opportunities, learning opportunities yung mga anak nila para ma-identify daw nila kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin paglaki nila. So, in-enroll nila sa different music classes, may guitar, may piano,
must be rich.
Sports. Hindi nga sila hindi sila super rich, but I appreciate na alam nila kung ano yung mga dapat i-value. Yeah, and sabi nila sa anak nila, hindi naman kailangan na with highest honors kayo, ganun. Basta makapasa kayo, okay na. Yun kasi yung dangerous Basta makapasa kayo, okay na. Parang naging mediocre yung anak niyo. But, with how you model to them, kung yung values nyo, ano yung pinapahalaga nyo sa family, I don't think that your kids will be mediocre. Alam lang nila na that's not the most important thing in life. Because there are other things we can do. So, iba naman yun. Yeah, so I really appreciate teachers who push their students to be more. Yeah. How about you? Ano yung pinaka-memorable mo na moment?
That teacher must be special, no?
Dalawa sila.
Yeah, yung nakakita ng potential mo. Kasi marami kayo sa classroom
Yes.
And for that teacher to push you because she sees the potential in you, really had an impact in you. Really good. For me kasi dalawa yung sinabi mo.
Dalawa din. Sige.
College at saka high school. Sige, nung college, meron akong teacher English teacher. I appreciate her kasi she's very smart. When she tells story, she would have this non-verbal gestures.
Wow.
Without the Manila paper, the PowerPoint presentation.
Storyteller pala siya.
Yeah, so you as a listener, you would look at her all the time. 15-20 minutes. You would just stare at her, just listen to her stories. She's very animated. She's very good with constructing very specific words so that she can paint a picture in your head.
Wow, ang galing.
Very good storyteller. And then one day, because I'm fascinated with her, especially on how she tells stories, nag-exam kami. And because I want to impress, I memorize yung content namin sa Greek mythology.
Wow. Ay, ayoko niya.
May small book kami. So I had to memorize it. So, lo and behold, nag-exam kami. Ang nangyari, one of the top ako dun sa exam.
Wow.
Kaya lang, something happened.
Ano yan?
Although top ako doon, one of the top, may note doon sa exam paper ko. Sabi niya, it's good that you have high score, pero you don't need to memorize everything. Kasi yung responses ko doon, although may multiple choice, may open-ended din. Yung open-ended, parang by the book ako. So I memorized.
Word for word.
Word
Wow.
for word. Literally.
Mahirap yan.
Right. So that made me think. If memorization is not the measurement of intelligence, maybe I need to detour a bit in how I see things.
Correct.
So I appreciate that kind of teacher who understands the value of comprehension rather than memorization.
Correct. Ang galing. Teacher.
That's in college. In high school, I appreciate this teacher because he spent one Saturday with us.
Wow.
So, apat kami lalaki. And then we spent one Saturday, nagluto siya, pochero. No. Tapos nanood kami ng sine sa classroom. Avatar 1 pa yun. Right. I appreciate this teacher because this kind of teacher, hindi siya yung ideal teacher that you would like. Kasi every time meron kaming mga lesson, he would not teach anything. Tapos, most of the time, galit siya.
Okay.
There was a time na dumaan yung principal. So, sabi niya sa amin, kasi may principal dumaan, sabi niya, pretend tayo, magtuturo ako. Pero, 99% of our discussion, wala talagang ginagawa.
Talaga?
Yeah. I appreciate this teacher because yung one Saturday with my classmates, I can still remember the feeling. So I think it's not really on the intellectual side, but on the emotional side. So that's very ironic kasi I had teachers who were
Magagaling
matulog. Pero that one who spent one Saturday with us made an appeal in my heart.
Sabi nga, merong quote niyan na your students will remember you, not thou, through the things you have taught.
Yeah.
Parang ganun.
On
But how you made them feel.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
And when it comes to teacher load, I cannot blame some of them. Some of them are intentional. Burden yung teachers natin.
Yeah, that's why hindi na sila nakakapagturo ng
Right.
maayos.
And siguro that's why most of the teachers would rather teach abroad
Yes.
because they're undercompensated. In fact, I have here a study from the Diplomat, the Philippines Basic Education Crisis. Sabi dito, teachers are overburdened with administrative tasks, limiting their ability to focus on
Yan.
teaching and professional development.
Paperworks.
Right.
Ang dami nilang kailangan i-submit. Kaya hindi ako nag-public school eh.
Oh, yeah. I
Hindi ko
often
kaya.
see my teacher sa high school, they're more on paperwork. So instead of primary role nila as a teacher, someone who teaches, dun sila sa paperwork. Parang paper worker na tawag dun. So
Admin
yung mga
work,
paperworks, I think it's more of monitoring teachers na
tinuturo ba nila yung dapat,
right.
gano'n.
Yeah, to create a system so that they are on the right track. But sometimes I'd say it's waste of time.
Nababurn out sila
Right.
din.
Kasi we want to be practical. with things, and if we micromanage our teachers, I think we lose the purpose of teaching.
Yeah. And I think kaya, lagi silang galit, mabilis silang magalit.
Right.
Hindi na sila nakaka-develop ng relationship with each one of their students.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Before, nakikita natin yung teachers natin as really an authority figure. Kaya, minsan factor din yun kung bakit natatakot tayong magtanong kasi terror yung teacher natin.
Oh, yeah.
But, we just didn't know kasi bata pa tayo, 'di ba? The amount of work na kailangan nilang gawin aside from actually teaching us.
Right. And I appreciate yung mga teacher na will manage their things with their family at saka dun sa workplace nila. Well, life now is different. In the past, it has been taught na yung teacher is the source of information, the source of authority. So you never dare to ask, to question the capacity of the teacher. Right now, of course, the abundance of information and the convenience of which we have.
Very
AI.
accessible.
Accessible teacher is not the source of information anymore. Meaning to say, teacher should also step into the role of being a coach
Yes.
or maybe consultant.
Facilitates learning.
Right? Yeah. And it's okay if you don't know how to answer. You don't have the
It's a stigma,
answers.
You're
anyway.
not a good teacher if hindi mo masagot yung tanong ng students mo.
Right. So that teacher is stepping up to the game. You're not the source. You're the one who facilitates learning.
Yes. You don't have to know everything, but you can teach your students to the how.
Wow, yeah.
How do you answer your question?
Right. And that made me remember actually one of my teachers in college. He's a very good professor. English teacher din, literature. And yung discussion namin, most of the time, more on questioning. She would throw questions. And then she would give time for you to discover the answer. So yung line of questioning niya is very concise and simple, easy to follow. And you would write on the process of learning. And yung the best na feeling is because of her questioning, you would discover learning.
Wow.
So may discovery, may ownership dun sa learning, which will make it more concrete.
Yes.
Amazing. So,
Hindi siya nagsispoon feed.
right, yeah, hindi siya nagsuspoon feed. Amazing.
Alright.
Now, when it comes to schooling naman, no? Of course, ilang years na din, no? Naglipas when we graduated from college. I'm sure may mga natira pa dun sa mga natutunan mo. So, what's one lesson from school that you still use today?
One lesson in school. Yung pinaka-favorite ko talaga is problem solving. So, before, ayaw ko ng problem solving sa math kasi kino-consume niya much space sa paper ko. Kasi 'di ba, kailangan mong ilagay doon what is asked. Naalala mo ba 'yon? What are given? How will you solve the problem? Yeah, but now I really appreciate na problem solving was taught. And when I became a teacher, before kasi yung problem solving parang at the end of the chapter lang siya Meron kang 5 problems na isosolve based dun sa buong lesson yung ganun. But in school where we taught, it's very important up to the point na you have to have problem solving like 3 to 5 days because it develops critical thinking. Yeah. And aminin na natin, maraming problema that we need to solve. And that was a good training for me to really think, paano kaya to? Ano kaya ang mga pwedeng gawin? And before, there was just parang limited lang yung ways to solve problems. When I became a math teacher to be specific, na-appreciate ko yung training na may emphasis sa different ways to solve the problem, which I really apply in real life. I really am fascinated na mag-solve ng problema. So, and that's something that I really have taken with me from school. Yeah.
That's why we're meant to be. Kasi you're into math and I hate math. And opposites do attract. So, that's why Dun sa akin naman,
Ikaw, ano yung lesson?
yung lesson.
Na dala-dala mo pa rin until today.
So I'm having a hard time. So I'm sure meron. Marami. I think siguro yung appreciate ko, I had this teacher in college. He's the one who is a guidance counselor type.
Mm-hmm.
Na he would ask questions, he would roam around,
Mm-hmm.
tapos he would appreciate your responses,
Mm-hmm.
tapos he would converse with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a psychology that I still use today. Now when I listen with my friends, they share their problems. I'd look them in their eyes, then feeling their feelings, reflect on it, and that will actually make them feel good. Very practical siya. Kasi yung sympathy, empathy, feeling the feeling,
Yeah.
it brings the burden down. I use that up until today. Listening to
Talaga? Joke
yeah,
lang. Yes.
up until now. I appreciate that kind of teacher in college. Ano pa ba?
Yeah, I really like psych classes and topics. Yung understanding human behavior. Na-apply ko talaga siya ngayon. And multiple intelligences. Especially when we collaborate. We work with other people. It's important na ma-identify mo kahit paano yung strength ng isang tao.
Yeah.
So you know how you guys can work together.
Yeah. Also, siguro sa mga impact ko din, which is my mantra. My mantra, slogan ko today. Meron kaming competition. Hindi naman competition. Parang mag-research ka ng favorite quote mo. No? Tapos, ipapresent mo dun sa, parang meron kaming, ipiprint mo yung favorite quote mo. Tapos, i-paste mo dun siya sa wall. Tapos, because of that, I was able to search on this quote that led me to really appreciate things that matter. Sabi dun sa quote, and I don't know who's the author. No. So, yung sabi dun is, yung below average mind would think about people, would talk about people. An average mind would talk about events, and an excellent mind will talk about ideas. So, when I was searching that, I thought to myself, I want that. I don't want to be labeled as someone who is below average. So I want to be the one who discuss ideas. So that's why when I am with my friends, I talk about ideas.
Wow.
Yung mga naka-resonate lang. And that led me to process things, to be sharper. No? Of course, not all the time. Kasi there were times I realized na when I'm with new friends, of course, you don't discuss ideas right away. Yung mga heavy, meaty stuff agad. So, you want to
establish
to peel the onion muna. Yung mga commonality nyo.
Correct.
Up until you reach the point that you see the potential of a deeper relationship or friendship. That quote alone, that one single project that actually improved my way of appreciating ideas.
Alright. Akala ko sasabihin mo research kasi nag-research ka ng quote. But
Actually,
research,
that's
diba?
one. Right. Actually, yeah. The skill that was taught is yung research. Right, yeah.
I noticed na the lessons that both of us shared that we still use today are not really topics in school. Diba? More on skills, problem-solving skills,
correct,
research skills,
Yeah.
ano pa, yung relational mo, social skills.
That's true.
Yeah, which makes me conclude, or makes me ask, bakit yung mga tinuturo sa school napaka-heavy on the what and the things that you need to know aside from the house. Diba?
Yeah, I don't know the curriculum now, but I think we had the obvious result already.
Yeah.
We're lagging behind. Something is wrong. So Albert Einstein said, it's insanity. Craziness is doing the same thing all over again.
Expecting the same. A different
results. Obviously, it's not working. And if we keep repeating on this pattern in our curriculum,
we will reap the same results.
Correct. So, maraming redundancy. when it comes to the topics learned in school. How I wish the school train us to be entrepreneurs, to be leaders, problem solvers, rather than being evaluated based on the NAT. No? Yung curriculum natin kasi has been designed against achievement tests, yung standardized tests, to simplify the developers of our curriculum in our government. They place 40, 50 students in one classroom, and they are evaluated against a standardized test. That's why heavy siya sa content.
Sa lahat.
No? That's why maraming redundancy. In fact, sabi dito sa isang study, Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, sabi dito about curriculum to us sa Philippines 2022. 30% of curriculum content overlaps across grade levels. Meaning to say, it will lead to redundancy and inefficiencies. Can you imagine that? 30%. I think we have to sit down. I think this is the time for our curriculum developers to pause and reflect.
Yes.
Sit down, look at the bigger picture. What's missing? What must be removed from our curriculum? 30%. Imagine if that 30% is allocated to problem solving
Skills development. Yeah.
projects. And the sad reality is it takes a lot of time and rehabilitation program when it comes to our curriculum design. That's why I think it's okay to accept the fact that we're lagging behind, reflect on that, and let's progress from there.
Yeah, because if we will never start, then you will never make it to the top.
Right.
Diba?
Yeah.
It's ironic, no? Because the goal of K-12 is to prepare students or learners for global competence.
Right.
But based on the results, I don't think it does prepare
Wow. Yeah.
our learners
Yeah.
globally.
Right. Well, there are many things. If you were given the privilege, to sit down with our DepEd secretary, what do you think is that one school experience, in general, you want to change?
I think I would go for AI integration in subjects. It will make the student's life simpler, and we are in a generation na technology plays a big role in acquiring information.
Yeah.
Even most jobs, are into technology because that is the future. That is where we are going. So, bakit hindi natin simulan sa school
Yeah.
mismo how to responsibly use technology for learning?
That's true.
Yeah,
Right.
so yun yung parang hugot ko eh.
Wow, yeah. There are some teachers and even schools who would discourage using AI kasi it will make you dull, because you're just researching and you're not giving ample time to reflect and process things. And I think I would disagree with that. Kasi if we're not training our students to maximize AI, we would believe we would be left behind.
Yes.
Actually, we're left.
We are already.
So, I think the right perspective is use AI to buy time. Kasi there are things that AI can help you so that you don't need ample time, especially with, let's say, research.
Yes.
The times of the past, you would spend hours with researching. AI will give you that kind of convenience. So, given that you are buying time, you can spend the other time with things that matter to you.
Yeah, more meaningful things pa.
Yeah. That's one. I agree with you. Also, may hugot din is yung students natin are being trained to be employees, not leaders
Correct.
or entrepreneurs, problem solvers. I think it has to start elementary,
Yes.
nursery,
Even kinder.
So if I were to design it based on my limited experience, I design it this way. Yung nursery, prep, kinder, up until grade 1 to 3, 60% of the curriculum should focus on values.
Character formation.
Yeah. The rest will be on interaction.
Parang Japan.
Right, yeah. Japan would emphasize on values first. Tapos yung...
Integrity, love for your country.
Right. Oh, yeah. Nationalism. Very important. Yung other 40%, I'd like to spend it on the emotional side. So, meaning you have to give time for students to interact with other students.
To process their feelings.
Yeah, kasi yung speaking, yung noise, productive noise, it enhances your communication skills. You're creating sounds. Just the mere of creating sounds, you're practicing your socialization, communication skills plus. And also, I like to change the curriculum on math. I hate math. I think one of the reasons why I hate math because elementary, high school, abstract sa akin yung math. And I'm a visual learner. So I see numbers, mga formulas, lost na ako. No?
Hindi siya kasi tangible.
Oh, yeah. Whereas in other countries like Singapore, they teach you Singapore math. Math is concrete.
Yes.
They would use blocks to
Manipulatives.
So
To
easier
represent
siya
numbers. Yes.
for people like me.
Correct.
Because of that gave me a fixed mindset that I'm not for math.
Because of the abstract
Correct.
approach.
It's just my mind cannot comprehend. Whereas if I was given the privilege of processing numbers through manipulatives,
And pictures.
I know na yung hate ko for math will fade. Diba? So, manipulatives concrete muna before the abstract. No? And also last, I would integrate entrepreneur dun sa subject, sa math.
Yes, maganda yung budgeting,
Correct.
how to earn.
Yeah. You'll be evaluated based on how you earn. No? Imagine. Although may entrepreneur naman ngayon, di ba? Even in our time, high school.
Entrepreneurship na.
Hindi siya ganun ka-practical.
Theoretical lang.
Right. Imagine, meron kami ng agriculture ng high school. What if tinuruan kami na yung project for the one semester or one school year, academic year, mag-choose kayo ng plants na gusto nyo i-plant sa bahay nyo. Tapos, on weekends, you'll sell it with your neighbors. Tapos, i-share mo yung
Profit.
you have to track yung budget mo, yung minus yung expenses dun sa revenue mo. Imagine that. You were taught how to earn, tapos you would learn how to network, knocking on people's door, tapos offering your product. Imagine the impact.
Maraming life skills yung matututunan sa no?
Right.
Ano kasi, ang lessons kasi natin before, very compartmentalized. So, pag agriculture, tanim-tanim ka lang talaga. Pag math, dun ka lang magsusol. Parang hindi sila integrated. So, maganda the school where we taught, diba, teaches us to put together the lessons.
Integrated, right.
So that it's going to be more practical, yung project approach. And what I really like about progressive schools like ours, they provide ng opportunities, activities for the students to really lead, organize, to collaborate, and even earn.
Yeah.
For a cause. It also develops their social responsibility.
Right.
So maganda yung mga ganung opportunities. Kaya lang, that's a very big work for the teacher na hindi naman nila makakomply yung mga administrative work na sinabi natin, na mention natin kanina.
Wow,
so that must be one thing that hinders the teacher to design more practical things, lessons for the students.
Right. Wow, that's true. On the practical side of things, let's be realistic. I think it's beyond the capacity of the teacher to regulate all of these things.
Yes, may personal lives pa sila.
Right. Yeah. And that's where parenting comes in.
Na, sige.
I think you can go first.
Na-mention mo yung subject na hate mo is math. Yung sa akin naman, social studies. Because na-mention ko kanina, I really hate dates, di ba? Parang hindi ko na-appreciate. What's the point of knowing when this hero died or was killed? Kung kailan siya ipinanganak. Ano yung maaambag nun sa life ko,
Yeah.
di ba? At saka nahirapan talaga akong mag-memorize ng dates. Ganun. And also names. Parang na-challenge ako dun before. So, ayaw ko talaga ng history. Yung civica, hekasi, mga ganun. Ano ko talaga, naka-cringe ako. Pag every time na magka-class na, parang hindi ko na ma-explain yung feeling ko. Parang na-anxious ako, ganun. Kasi grabe yung expectations from you. If ikaw ay nag-excel, kahit na ayaw mo naman. Parang it's expected before, diba? Na kapag honor student ka, dapat lahat alam mo, well-rounded ka. Paano kung hindi mo alam at ayaw mo, diba?
Right.
Kawawa talaga yung mga students na akala nila hindi nila mamimit yung expectations. Meron akong side story. Nung before, naalala ko, sa isang period namin, parang mga 5 lang kami. Yung top 5 sa subject na yun. Kami lang yung parang contest kasi review daw. So, pag ikaw yung nakakuha ng tamang sagot, magsi-step forward ka and then paunahan kami kung sino yung maka-reach ng finish line. So, grabe yung kaba ko that time. Tapos, parang sabi ko, unfair naman ito. Yung mga classmates ko parang nag-enjoy sila, nag-rejoice sila na nanonood lang. Tapos yung kaming 5, parang tortured. Ganun. Kasi syempre, competitive din ako. Ayoko rin na mamapahiya, di ba?
Right.
So, grabe talaga yung feeling ko that time. Dala-dala ko kaya I really hated social studies. Up until I met this very wonderful teacher who became our mentor, and simplified things. And taught us how social studies should be taught in school. So, dun yun na-introduce yung projects, yung very important talaga yung role or the skill in research for you to appreciate social studies. Diba? Dito na-open yung eyes ko sa relevance ng nangyari sa history natin, sa history ng ibang bansa, and also the mentor taught us na you don't have to know everything.
Yep.
But if you like this something, you can have an in-depth study about it. And if you find it relevant or very practical, you can go study about it.
Right.
So, dun nag-change yung pananaw ko sa perspective ko towards social studies. And sabi ko, had I known na pwede palang ganito, it would have been my major.
Really?
Grabe. So, yeah. I
Social
also
studies.
appreciate na we were trained to encourage students and families to travel because yung mga trips na yun, field trips, very experiential yun.
Right.
Marami talagang matututunan yung mga bata. Before sa training natin, if you go on a trip with your family, naku, mamimiss mo yung quizzes, mamimiss mo yung exam, or yung iba, hindi ka pa excuse, so mapupull down yung grades mo. So, hindi ka na lang magta-travel, di ba?
Wow, yeah.
Parang how ironic
Right.
na yung learning natin inside the 4 walls of the classroom, which should not be and which is not in reality, di ba?
Right. The world is your classroom. Right.
Wow.
It's sad, to see if we measure the time spent, investments, and most of which actually is not applicable to real life. What a waste of time. But of course,
And
we can do
money.
something about it. So that's why I'm a great advocate of homeschool because it actually
Yeah.
bridges the gap. If I were to design my children's education, I would have them enroll sa homeschool muna
Yes.
till college. So if I can visualize it, I can share some of which dito. So what I will do, number 1, have a baby first. Babies, parating,
Babies,
Tapos multi-age yan for sure. Yung gap, maybe mga 2 or 3. Then, I'll purchase a farm. We'll live in a farm. Tapos sa farm, dun ang exposure nila sa real things. So, merong tasks na ibibigay ko sa kanila, like for example, hatching eggs, photosynthesis, water cycle, they will see it.
Wow,
not sa
very
book, no?
scientific.
I'll invest in cows, no? I'll ask my kids to raise, no, cows,
Gusto mo sa farm.
Right.
Lumaki
And-
sila sa farm.
poultry at the same time. Imagine that. Yung chickens, they would hatch eggs. Yung eggs mismo kakainin namin. Or breakfast. No?
Paano
Tapos,
naman ako?
Doon ka sa ano lang, doon ka na mag-Netflix ka na lang.
Okay.
Ikaw yung bahala doon sa curriculum.
Okay.
Yung sa books. No? Ako bahala doon sa experience. Of course, team naman yun. We will design it together. Tapos imagine yung water cycle. No? Kita nila yung ulan, may mga clouds, different kinds of clouds. May mga different kinds. Kita nila. Not
Yeah.
just in the books. No? Tapos, we would travel together. We'll bring them. Kahit nasa abroad tayo, no? We can give assignments to them, projects.
Correct.
And then, I will teach them how to earn. No? Let's say, one of them will ask, Dad, Mom, bili tayo ng ganito. So, I'll give them the
Early economics.
economics.
Wow.
Na, itong gagawin nyo for you to earn.
Yes.
So, what do you think? Ito yung mga projects na pwede mong gawin. Maybe you can start selling lemons, no? Or maybe cutting the grass of our neighbors.
Yeah, you have to identify kung ano yung need or problems ng people around you.
Right.
Para malaman mo kung ano yung i-offer mo na service or product, di ba?
Right, imagine that. Tapos, they would knock on people's doors. They will feel how to be rejected. They will negotiate. They will learn how to offer their product.
Correct.
Tapos, they will earn. No? And then, we will process it together. Not just the earning part, no? But yung learning talaga.
Yeah.
No? Kasi that will give them the confidence in the future.
It's also the perfect way to pass on or share the values of your family, di ba? With your kids.
Right. No? Kagandaan dun sa homeschool kasi, ikaw as a parent, no? You know yung priorities mo. You can streamline yung education and you can take away yung mga wasted hours, no, dun sa unnecessary subjects and topics. What a way, no, to learn things. The future is bright, no, if that's the path you're taking. I'm so blessed with our topic for today.
Yeah.
The truth behind why Philippine education is below average. What do you think? Ano yung mga reasons? Comment down below. We are active sa Facebook, no, Modern Tribe. You can also watch our podcast sa Spotify.
Listen to it.
Right, and listen to it. And let's have some discussions now. Feel free to message us if you need anything. Again, this is
Modern Tribe.
Helping modern families.
Embrace timeless values.
Bye-bye.
This is Modern Tribe. Modern families, timeless principles.